Okay, here we go. There was a house. Everybody draw a house in the air with me. And the house was down by the side of the sea. Can you make the sea with me? And in the house there was a man. Can you make a man? And every day he would take his net and he'd throw the net out. Do the same as me. And he pulled, and he pulled, and he pulled, and he pulled, and he pulled. And he would catch the fish inside of the net. But one day all he could see was one fish. Everybody show me one thumb. It was as big as your hand. Show me how big it was. It had round golden eyes. It had big red fins and a crown on its head. Everybody, put a crown on your head. And he looked at the fish and he said, that fish is too small. What did he say? That fish is too small. Some of these children got very deep voices. And he took that fish and he threw it through the air. You ready? Ooh. Go on, make the noise with me. Ooh. And that's what was falling down again. And before it hit the water, it turned around and said, thank you, fisherman. What did it say? Thank you, fisherman. He couldn't believe his eyes. He started to run back. Can you do it with me? He ran back to his house. And when he got there, everybody show me two thumbs. He said, wife, wife, wife. Do that with me. Wife, wife, wife. I just caught a fish. It was as big as my hand. Show me how big it was. It had round golden eyes and big red fins and a crown on its head. And when I put it in the water, it said, thank you, fisherman. Do that with me. Thank you, fisherman. Well done, you. But you know, his wife looked at him and said, please tell me you didn't throw it away. He said, I did. Can you do that with me? I did. She got very angry. Show me how angry she got. I didn't say slightly annoyed, I said angry. Here we go. You silly man! You've thrown away the king of the fish. He can give us things. Go back and ask the king of the fish for a new house. Can you all fold your arms? Everybody fold your arms like this? And he said, I can't do that. Do that with me. I can't do that. And his wife got angry. Are you ready? And he ran to the side of the sea. Are you ready? Do this with me. And when he got there, do this with me. Are you ready? Don't stamp your feet, please. He said, flatfish, flounder, king of the sea, grant a wish for Isabel, but not for me. And first he saw the crown, and then he saw the eyes, then he saw the fins, and the king of the fish was smiling. Show me that big smile. He said, well, fisherman. What did he say? Well, fisherman. What do you want? He said, it's not for me, it's for my wife. She wants a new house. Can you tap your knees? If that's what she wants, then that's what she'll get. Do that with me. If that's what she wants, then that's what she'll get. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And when he got back, there was a beautiful house. Thumbs in the air. And he said, wife, wife, wife. Do that with me. Wife, wife, wife. Are you happy now? And his wife said, no. I wanted to have a castle. Can you draw a castle in the air? You're very good at this. I want to have a castle. I want to be the queen. Fold your arms. I can't do that. Do it again. I can't do that. And his wife got angry. Are you ready? Good. And down he went to the side of the sea, and when he got there, do it with me. Flatfish, flounder, king of the sea, grant a wish for Isabel, but not for me. And first you saw the crown on your head. Then you saw the eyes. Then you saw the fins. Put your teeth together, those of you who've got them. Ready? And he said, well, fisherman. Can you do that with me? Well, fisherman. Ah! Are you trying to frighten me? What do you want? He said, it's not for me, it's for my wife. She wants to be a queen inside of a castle. If that's what she wants, then that's what she'll get. Do that with me. If that's what she wants, then that's what she'll get. Ooh. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And when he got back, can you draw the castle in the air? There was a beautiful castle, and his wife was outside, all dressed up like a queen. He said, thumbs in the air, wife, wife, wife. Do it with me. Wife, wife, wife. You must be happy now. And his wife said, no. Nobody can see me. It's dark. I want to make the sun come up when I tell it to. Can you do that with me? I want to make the sun come up when I tell it to. The fisherman turned around with the saddest face you ever did see. Can you show me your sad faces? Sadder than that. And he went right down to the side of the sea. Are you ready? He said, flatfish, flounder, king of the sea, don't grant a wish for Isabel, grant a wish for me. Well done, you! I work with much older children who don't get that right. Good boy. Don't say anything. This time the king of the fish was smiling again. He said, well, fisherman. What did he say? Well, fisherman, what do you want? He says, I want to live inside of a house, not a castle. I want to go and catch fish. The king of the fish swam right down to the bottom of the sea, make him swim down to the bottom of the sea, and he picked up a stone as small as your thumb. Show me how small it was. And he dropped it into the fisherman's hand. Put it in your pocket. You ready? And when he got back to the house, there was his wife, and she was crying. Are you ready? I was hoping for a bit more help than this. He said, wife, 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 are you happy now? And she said, yes, I'm very happy now. I asked for too many things. He said, it's all right. The king of the fish has given us a stone. Can you take this stone out of your pocket? And he opened up his hand. He said, we'll never forget the king of the fish. Can you all gasp? And the stone was a piece of gold. And it was just enough to buy a boat. Can you make a boat with me? Sorry, a boat. And he bought a boat, and the very next day, his wife said, husband, husband, husband. Do that with me. Husband, husband, husband. Can I come and catch fish with you? And the fisherman said, yes. You ready? She would throw the net out. Let's see that net being thrown out. She would throw the net out, and he would pull it in. Sometimes he threw the net out, and she pulled it in. And the two of them caught fish by the side of the sea, and they both lived happily ever after. Give yourselves a round of applause. Well done. Well, I've got to say, you have sat brilliantly for such a long time. Let's try something. That means to stand up. Don't do it yet. That means to sit down. You can do that. What do you think this means? Dancing. You flatter me. Thank you very much for that. You ready? You've got to do what my hands tell you to do. Here we go. And stand up. Don't just look at me. Stand up. You ready? And oh, you got to be quicker than that. You ready? Quickly. And you should be dancing. Ready? Stop. Are you ready? Last time. I'm not going to fool you anymore. Everybody, sit down. What a mean trick to play on small children. You have been ever so good, but I'm going to play my banjo. It looks different, and it sounds different. It sounds like this. Show me a thumb and touch one ear. That shows me that you're listening. And this is my guitar, and I wiggle my fingers on one hand. Can you all do that with me? And I press the strings down with the other. Do you know, I think it sounds a bit like somebody going up and down stairs. Can you make yourselves very small? Small as that, small as you can. Smaller than that. Ready? Here we go. A little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, bigger. Reach your hands up to the ceiling. Give the ceiling a good scratch. Go Go on, small as you can. Do it again. Small as you can. A little bit bigger, bigger, bigger. Reach your hands up to the ceiling. Give the ceiling a good scratch. Well, this is my guitar. Show me a thumb. Touch one ear. And I play my guitar. And I'm going to sing a song that I think you might know. Will you sing it with me? And then you can sing it by yourselves. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Now, see, all your helpers are using your hands like mad. Can you all wiggle your fingers? You know how to do this one with your fingers. Ready? You sing it by yourselves. Twinkle. Lovely. I like your singing. Don't forget to point up. What lovely singers you are. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Can you give yourselves a great big smile? Oh, look at that. Well, my guitar is made out of metal, and it's made out of steel, and it's very shiny, but the back's just like a mirror. Can you all give yourselves a big smile? What a lot of posers you are. I don't know. This time, can you give yourselves a little wave? A wave as well? Well done. Do you know, you've sat beautifully for me. That's it, give yourselves a wave. Well, I think I'm going to sing one more song that I think... Show me one thumb like this. I'm going to tell you a story, and this story's called Stan Bolovan and the Dragon. You ready? There was a house. Make the house with me. Draw the house in the air. There was a house, and in the house there was a man. Can you make a man like that? Do the same as I do with my hands. And he had a wife, but his wife was very sad. Show me how sad she was. Because she didn't have any children. And Stan Bolovan didn't know what to say, and he turned around. Can you do it with me? He turned around and walked through all of the trees, and as he walked through the trees, he heard a voice, and a voice shouted out, "Help!" Can you do that with me? It shouted out, "Help!" And he looked over there. Everybody look over there. And he looked over there, and he looked up. Can you all look up? And he looked down. And there he saw a great big sticky puddle of thick, greasy mud. And in the middle of the mud there was a little woman. Show me how small she was. She had a crown on her head. Put the crown on your head. She had a golden dress, silver boots, and diamonds all over. Put a diamond ring on the back of your hand like this. And Stan Bolovan, who was a man, knew just who she was. She was the queen of the fairies. And if he helped her, she would give him, can you count with me? 1, 2, 3 magic wishes. Can you make magic with me? Put your hands like this and wiggle your fingers. That's a sign for magic. And he stepped into the mud. And he got a hold of the little woman. Grab a hold of the little woman with me. You ready? And he pulled, and he pulled, and he pulled her out of the mud. But he fell in the mud with a great big splash. And he had mud in his hair. He had mud in his ears. He had mud in his pockets. He had mud between his toes. You're very good at this. But the little woman, show me the little woman, no bigger than this, with a crown on her head and a golden dress, silver boots and diamonds all over. She said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." What did she say? She said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. You helped me. I'm going to help you. Have you got lots of cows?" And Stan Bolovan said, "Ha!" What did he say? He said, a bit louder than that. He said, "Ha! Do I look like I've got lots of cows? I've only got one cow. Show me one thumb." The little woman, do it with me, no bigger than this, with a crown on her head, a golden dress, silver boots and diamonds. You're very good at this. She said, "Have you got lots of sheep? Put some curly horns on your head like this." And Stan Bolovan said, "Ha! What did he say? He said, do I look like I've got lots of sheep? I've only got one sheep. Show me one thumb. The little woman, she scratched at her chin and rubbed at her head. Can you all do that with me, grown-ups as well? Just because you've got 2 children on your arm. You ready? You ready? She scratched at her chin and she rubbed at her head. I can't believe you fell for it. And she looked and she said, have you got a wife? He said, yes, but she's always sad. The little woman smiled. Show me that little smile. And she rubbed her hands together and said, I'm not going to give the wishes to you. I'm going to give them to your wife. You'd better go home and see what she's wished for. Stan jumped up. Can you jump up with me? And he ran all the way home. And when he got there, his wife was standing outside of the house. And she was smiling. Show me a big smile. Because in her arms, she had a baby. The baby had long black hair, do it with me. It had bright blue eyes, a smile on its lips. And it looked at Stan and it shouted out, Daddy! Can you do that with me? It shouted out, Daddy! Stan looked and said, where did that baby come from? She said, I was just standing here. And I went, can you do this with me? I wish. Do that with me. I wish. I wish. I wish I had a baby in my arms. Rub your hands together. And there was a rushing sound. And there was a rattling sound. And there was a great big crash. And there it was, a baby in my arms. Ha ha! Said Stan. You had 3 magic wishes because I met a little woman. Don't say anything. And she gave me, no, she gave you 1, 2, 3 magic wishes. And if you used one to wish for a baby, you've still got 2 wishes left. You could wish for cows, put some horns on your head. You could wish for cows and sheep and gold and silver. Put your hands down here. Stan's wife looked at him and said, oh dear. Do that with me. Oh dear. Don't go and look up into the tree. You know what it's like when somebody says, don't look up. He couldn't stop himself. He looked in the tree, and what did he say? Count with me. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children in the tree, all dancing. Can you do it with me? Dancing in the tree. They looked at Stan, and they shouted out, Daddy! Are you ready? Can you do that with me? They shouted out, Daddy! Stan said, who are those 5 children up there in the tree? His wife said, I had the baby in my arms and I just said, are you ready? I wish. Go and do it. I wish. I wish. I wish I had 5 more children. Ready? There was a rushing sound. You ready? And there was a rattling sound. And there was a great big crash. And there were 5 children. Said Stan, 6 children. Show me a handful and 1 more. 6 children, but you've still got 1 wish left. You could wish for cows. Put the horns on your head. You could wish for cows and sheep and gold and silver and diamonds. Put your hands down here. You ready? And his wife said, oh dear. Don't go and look at the back of the house. Stan jumped up and he looked. Can you count with me? And when he got there, he didn't see 1. He didn't see 5. Show me 2 handfuls. He didn't see 10. He didn't see 20 or 40 or 80. But 100 children dancing at the back of the house. And they all shouted out, Daddy! Stan looked and said, there's 100 children at the back of the house. What have you done? She said, I'm very sorry. I had the baby in my arms. Well done at the back there, do it. I had the baby in my arms. And the 5 children up in the tree. And I just said, do it with me. I wish. I wish. I wish I had 100 more children. Do it. And there was a rushing sound. And there was a rattling sound. And there was a great big crash. And there they were, 106 children. What am I going to do with 106 children? He said, I know what I'll do. Everybody show me a thumb. I'm going to go and get a job. And he waved goodbye to the children. Everybody wave. And he walked along the road and he asked everybody if they could help him. But they couldn't. And then he heard, tss, Do it with me, Harvey as well. And out of the sky there came a dragon. The dragon landed in front of Stan, and he was frightened. Show me how frightened he was. Ooh. The dragon looked down and said, "Who are you?" Can you do that with me? Who are you? Stan was frightened, but he pretended not to be. He said, I am Stan Bolovan, and I eat dragons for breakfast and dinner and tea. The dragon looked down, do it with me, and said, "Do you really?" Can you say that with me? "Do you really?" And Stan said, "Yes." Can you do that with me? "Yes." "Do you really, really?" Can you do that with me? "Do you really, really?" And Stan said, "Yes." The strangest thing happened. Everybody take a big deep breath. The dragon said, "Please don't eat me." Because it wasn't the cleverest dragon in all of the world. Stan smiled, show me, and he thought, I can fool this dragon. And he said, "I won't eat you if you give me gold." Can you make gold with me? Gold and silver and diamonds. The dragon flew, do it with me, and came back with 3 buckets filled with gold and silver and diamonds, and Stan jumped on its back and it flew. You ready? All the way back to his house. But when he got there, his 106 children were all waiting, and they all shouted out, "Daddy!" Tap your knees. Do this with me. "You brought something for us to eat." You say it. "You brought something for us to eat. Dragon meat for us to eat. Dragon meat for us to eat. You brought something for us to eat. Dragon meat for us to eat. You brought something for us to eat. Dragon meat for us to eat." And the dragon screamed, "Ah!" You ready? And it flew away from that place, and it never came back. And Stan lived with his 106 children. And I know what you think I'm going to say, but it's not right. Because sometimes the children got cross. And sometimes the children got angry. So they nearly lived happily ever after. Give yourselves a round of applause. Well, I love the way that you sat for me. Well, I'm going to sing you one of my songs, and this song's called "When I Was a Baby, All I Could Do Was Wriggle." And when you hear wriggle, you've got to wriggle. Show me how we can wriggle. Okay, but nice and still. You ready? Here we go. When I was a baby, all I could do was wriggle. Everybody wriggle. Then I got bigger and I learned to crawl. Holding on to the wall, I learned to walk and not fall. When I was a baby, all I could do was wriggle. Everybody wriggle! Wriggle, 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 wriggle. When I was 1, I learned to walk. In the house and in the dark and in the park. Walking here, walking there, I could walk everywhere. When I was a baby, all I could do was wriggle. Everybody wriggle! Wriggle, 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 wriggle. Running, jumping, rolling all around. Sometimes my feet are on the ground, but trying to keep still. Yes, I can keep very still. When nobody's looking, I still like to wriggle. Everybody wriggle! Wriggle, 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 wriggle. When I get older, I'll watch my babies wriggle. Everybody wriggle! Then they'll get bigger and I'll watch them crawl. holding on to the wall. I'll watch them walk and not fall. When nobody's looking, I still like to stand up, sit down, stand up again, do nothing at all, do even more nothing, go. I still like to. Last chance for a great big wriggle. Hey, well done. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you a story, and this story is called The Three Billy Goats Gruff, because there were two high hills. Can you all do that with me? Draw two high hills in the air, and in between the two hills there was a river. Make that river with me. And over the river there was a bridge, but underneath the bridge there lived a hairy, scary troll. Can you do that with me? He had round eyes, he had yellow sharp teeth, and green and greasy fur. And the three Billy Goats Gruff, they lived on one side of the hill. And do you know something? They wouldn't go over that bridge in case the great big troll would jump up and go, "Who's that a-trap-a-trappin' on me bridge?" I like the way you did that with me. You ready? Can you do that with me? "Who's that a-trap-a-trappin' on me bridge?" But baby Billy Goat Gruff had horns on his head that were no bigger than your thumbs. You are so good at this. Well done, you. Can you all put some small horns on the top of your head? And middle-sized Billy Goat Gruff had horns on his head that were as big as your thumbs. But big Billy Goat Gruff had horns on his head that were as long as your arms. But they were all scared of the great big hairy scary troll. But baby Billy Goat Gruff was chewing out some grass. Can you do it with me? Chewing out some grass. And he said, "Do you know, I'd really like to go across the bridge, but I'm scared of the hairy, scary troll. But I'm very small, and I could get across." And baby Billy Goat Gruff, put your fingers like this. He trip-trapped on that bridge, and he nearly got across to the other side when up jumped the hairy, scary troll. Can you do this with me? And said, "Who's that a-trap-a-trappin' on me bridge?" Baby Billy Goat Gruff shook and shivered. Can you shake and shiver with me? Shook and shivered, quaked and quivered and said, "It's only me. Baby Billy Goat Gruff, please don't eat me up." "Why shouldn't I eat you up?" "Because I've got a brother, middle-sized Billy Goat Gruff. He'd make you a breakfast and a dinner and a tea." I like the sound of middle-sized Billy Goat Gruff. Get off me bridge. Can you do that with your hands? Get off me bridge. And baby Billy Goat Gruff, he trip. You were so good at that. Over to the other side and started to eat the tall, sweet, green grass. Now, middle-sized Billy Goat Gruff, put your hands on the top of your head. She's so good at that. He looked and he said, "You know, baby Billy Goat Gruff, I wish I could eat some of the sweet green grass on the other side of the river." And he looked over the bridge, and who could he see but baby Billy Goat Gruff? And he thought to himself, "If he can go across, I can go across." And he tripped on the bridge, and he nearly got to the other side when up jumped the hairy, scary troll. Do that with me. And said, "Who's that a-trappin' on me bridge?" Middle-sized Billy Goat Gruff, he shook and he shivered and he quaked and he quivered and said, "It's only me, middle-sized Billy Goat Gruff, please don't eat me up." "Why shouldn't I eat you up?" Because I've got big Billy Goat Gruff, my big brother, and he'd make a breakfast, a dinner, a supper, a tea for you. I like the sound of big Billy Goat Gruff. Get off me bridge. Can you do that with me? Get off me bridge. And middle-sized Billy Goat Gruff, he trip to the other side. And baby Billy Goat Gruff and middle-sized Billy Goat Gruff ate the tall, sweet green grass. And now there was big Billy Goat Gruff. He was trying to find some grass to eat in amongst all of the hard, dry, short grass. And he looked and he said, baby Billy Goat Gruff and middle-sized Billy Goat Gruff, I'd like to go across the river. And when he looked over to the other side, there he could see, can you do it with me, baby Billy Goat Gruff, middle-sized Billy Goat Gruff. And he thought to himself, if they can go across, I can go across. Can you do this with me? And he tripped across the bridge, and up jumped the hairy, scary troll and said, who's that a-trapping on me bridge? Big Billy Goat Gruff said, it's me, Big Billy Goat Gruff. I've heard all about you. I'm going to eat you up. I don't think so, said Big Billy Goat Gruff. Can you do this? And he started to run towards the troll, and he hit the troll, and the troll went up in the air. Ooh! Can you do that with me? Ooh! And down he came. Eee! And he fell in the water with a great big splash. And that was the end of the great big troll. And from that time, baby Billy Goat Gruff, do that with me. Baby Billy Goat Gruff and middle-sized Billy Goat Gruff and great big Billy Goat Gruff, they could trip, trap across the bridge any time that they wanted, and they lived happily ever after. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Well done, you. Now, everybody wave a finger. Good help. Well, I play my guitar and I sing all different kinds of songs, and I'm going to see how good you are at singing. I'm going to sing a song and see if you're good at singing. Are you ready? You might know this one. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, nod your head. If you're happy and you know it, nod your head. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show, if you're happy and you know it. If you're happy and you know it, say I eat ice cream. If you're happy and you know it, say I eat cake. I eat cake. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show, if you're happy and you know it, say I eat worms. Do you eat worms? I'm going to find out how good you are at listening. If you're happy and you know it, clap your feet. Where were you? If you're happy and you know it, clap your feet. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your feet. If you're happy and you know it, shout we are. We are! If you're happy and you know it, shout we are. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, shout we are. Everybody show me a thumb. That's a good thing. But when I tell stories, I need you to do the same as me. Show me. There were two ducks. Can you show me two thumbs like this? And all they wanted in all of this world, can you count with me, was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little ducklings. They looked in the nest and what did they say? Count with me. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eggs. The first egg was as big as your hand. Show me how big it was. Come on, Kieran. The second egg was as big as your other hand. Show me your other hand. The third egg was as small as your thumb. But the fourth egg was as long as your arm. Show me how long it was. The fifth egg was a different size. Try that with me. A different size, a different shape, a different colour, but they sat down on the eggs. Do that with me. Ready? They sat down. Don't ignore me. They sat down on the eggs. Thank you very much. And they waited. Do this with me, Kieran. And they waited. 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 You ready? There was a scrit and a scratch and a crick and a crack. Do that with me. A scrit and a scratch and a crick and a crack. And the first egg opened up and out came a little duckling and it said quack. What did it say? It said, quack. Now they sat down on the eggs. Do it with me. I'm still watching. Thank you very much. Ready? Fold your arms. And they waited. 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 You ready? There was a scrit and a scratch and a crick and a crack. And the second egg opened up and out came a little duckling and it said, quack. The first duck said, quack. The second duck said, quack. Show me your thumb. Now they sat down on the egg as small as your thumb. You ready? And they sat down. You're next. And they sat down on the eggs and they waited. 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 Are you ready? There was a scrit and a scratch and a crick and a crack. And out came the smallest little duckling that you ever did see. But it had a really big voice. And it said, quack! You ready? The first duck said, quack. The second duck said, quack. But the third duck said, quack! Now they sat down on the egg as long as your arm. Show me how long it was. And they sat down. I said they sat down. I'm waiting, thank you very much. And they waited, 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 and they waited. You ready? There was a scrit and a scratch and a crick and a crack. And out came the biggest little duckling that you ever did see. But it had a really small voice and it said, quack. Try that with me. It said, quack. The first duck said, quack. The second duck said, quack. But the third duck said, quack. Duck number 4 said, quack. And now there was only one egg left. Show me one thumb like this. And it was a different size. Can you try that with me? Different size, different shape, different colour, but they sat down on the eggs. I'm still watching. They sat down on the eggs, ready? And they waited, 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 and they waited. You ready? There was a scrit and a scratch and a crick and a crack, and out came the funniest looking little duckling, and it didn't say quack. Put one hand like that. Put your finger like this. It didn't say quack. It said quick, 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 quick. Can you do that with me? Quick, 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 quick. Said the 2 old ducks. What are we going to do when people find out that we've got a duck that says quick and not quack? But they walked along and they came to a big square field. Draw that square field with me. And in the square field there was a man and he was digging. Can you dig? And digging and digging and digging. And he was hot, hot, hot. Do that. Hot, hot, hot. And he stopped, touched one ear, and he listened. And the first duck said, quack. And the second duck said, quack. But the third duck said, quack. Duck number 4 said, quack. But the fifth duck, hand like that, finger like this, the fifth duck said, quick, 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 said the farmer. That's who it was. And he started to dig. Can you do that with me? And he started to dig so really quickly. And he'd finished his work as quick as that. Can you do that with me? As quick as that. And he was finished and in time for his dinner. All because he listened, touched one ear, and heard a duck say quick and not quack. What are we going to do? What are we going to say? When people find out that we've got a duck that says quick and not quack. But they walked along. Can you get onto a bike? And pretend you're riding a bike like this. You don't need that. Well done. And who was there with a pack and a sack at his back on his bike? It was the postman. And he stopped and he listened. Are you ready? And the first duck said, quack. Well done. And the second duck said, quack. But the third duck said, quack. Duck number 4 said, quack. Hand like that, finger like this, but the fifth duck said, quick, 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 quick. Oh, quick, quick, said the postman. Can you take the letters from the pack and the sack at your back? And he took the letters from the pack and the sack at his back and posted them as quick as that. Can you do that with me? Posted them as quick as that. And he was finished and in time for his tea and a kiss and a cuddle from his children 3, hands in the air. But that night, when the snow was coming down, can you make the snow come down? When the snow was coming down, who was there to look after me, to look after you, all dressed up in his jacket blue? It was the policeman. And he stopped the traffic. Can you stop the traffic with me? And he stopped the traffic. And to say thank you, the first duck said, quack. You ready? And the second duck said, quack. Are you ready? But the third duck said, quack! Duck number 4 said, quack. Hand like that, finger like this, but the fifth duck didn't say quack. It said, quick, 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 quick. Now the policeman listened, touch one ear. And when he listened, he could hear that there was a dog barking. What's a dog say? And the dog was barking as loud as you like. And he went to where the dog was barking. Very good. And the man who owned the dog had slipped on the ice. Can you make the ice with me? Slipped on the ice, fallen on his back as quick as that. And the policeman picked him up. Can you pick him up? And dusted him down. And to say thank you, the old dog looked around and said, where is that clever little duckling that says quick and not quack? Are you ready? And the first duck said, quack. And the second duck said, quack. But the third duck said, quack! Duck number 4 said, quack. Hand like that, finger like this, but the fifth duck said, quick, 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 quick. The old dog smiled. Show me a dog smile like this. He smiled and he went, you are a clever little duckling. I'm going to help you. And he taught the little duck to dance. Can you do it with me? And he taught the little duck to dance. And then he taught the little duck to say bark. What did it say? It said bark. Well done at the back there. It said quick over here and bark over there. Quick and bark and bark and quick and quick and bark and bark and quick and quick and bark, bark, quick, quick, bark, bark. And then the duck said quack. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Can you do that with me? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Said the two old ducks, you've really helped us. What can we get for you? And the old dog said, I'd like to have. I want to have. Please, can I have? Everybody thought he was going to say a bone, but he said, I'd like to have a saucer of milk. What? A saucer of milk? For a dog? Get the milk with me, ready? And it lapped it up. And the little duckling fell asleep against the dog, and the little duckling went, quack! Do that. Quack! 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 And it fell quickly asleep. But the old dog didn't roar or snore. When it fell asleep, it went meow. And it's a story about a dog that can purr like a cat and a duck that says quick and quack. Show me a big smile. Did you like that? Well, thank you very much. Do you know, usually everybody's a critic, but that's the kind of critic I like. And you need to use your hands the same as me, because there was a house. Make the house with me. And in the house there was a man, and the man was tall, show me, and he was strong, and he had 1, 2, 3 sons, and he loved them very much. Now his wife, she would look at the oldest boy, rub your hands together like this, and she would say, oh, you are the oldest boy, and you are the best boy. I love you. Can you do that with me? Oh, you are the oldest boy, and you are the best boy. I love you. To the middle boy, she would go, you're all right. Do that with me. You're all right. But to the youngest boy, put your teeth together, those of you who got them, and go, she would go, I don't like you. Can you do that with me? I don't like you. We're just pretending. And do you know something? These 3 boys wanted to show their father how strong they were. Show me how strong they were, like this. He wanted to show how strong they were. And the first boy, the oldest boy, went up to his mother and said, Mother, can you do that with me? Mother, I want to chop down a tree. Rub your hands together. She said, oh, you are the oldest boy and you are the best boy. I love you. I'm going to give you an axe that is made out of gold. Can you make that gold with me? That is made out of gold. I'm going to give you a cake as big as this. Show me how big the cake was. Well done, you. and I'm going to give you a bottle of wine. Now the boy put them all in the pack and a sack at his back, with a bottle of wine by his side. Well done, you. And I've got to tell you, he started to walk along. Can you walk with me? And as he was walking along the road, he met with a little man no bigger than this. Show me how small he was. And the little grey man with grey hair that hung over his shoulders and a thin beard on his chin looked at the oldest boy and said, hello. What did he say? He said, hello. Have you got something to eat and drink? And the oldest boy said, not for you. The little man, show me how small he was, no bigger than this, with hair over his shoulders and a long thin beard, said, please give me something to eat. Can you do that with me? Please give me something to eat. And the oldest boy said, no. Well, you'd better be careful. Your axe might break. But the oldest boy didn't care. Get a hold of the cake with me. And he started to eat it. And he ate it all. And he drank the wine. And he took his axe. Get a hold of the axe with me. And he raised it high in the air and he chopped. But it didn't make a mark in the bark. Stupid axe. You should be able to chop down a tree. Do it again. And he raised it high in the air and he chopped. But it didn't cut into the wood. This time when you bring your hands down, you've got to clap your hands. Ready? And he raised it high in the air and he chopped. And the head of the axe, as sharp as a knife, went up in the air. Ooh, do that with me. Ooh, and it came back down again. Eee! And it cut him on his leg and he yelled. Do you know, I was so hoping for some help here. And he yelled, Mommy, 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 I've cut my leg. Rub your hands together. She went, oh, you are the oldest boy and you are the best boy. You've cut your leg. And she wrapped a bandage. Can you do that with me? She wrapped a bandage about his leg. And the middle boy went up to his mother and said, Mother, I'd like to chop down a tree. You're all right. Do that with me. You're all right. She gave him a silver axe. And a cake as big as your fist. Show me how small that cake was. And she gave him a bottle of beer. He put the axe over his shoulder, the pack and the sack at his back with the cake and the beer, and he started to walk along, and who did he meet but the little grey man? Do it with me. With hair over his shoulders, a long thin beard, he looked and he said, hello. What did he say? Hello. Have you got something to eat and to drink? And the middle boy said, not for you. Big deep breath. Please give me something to eat. And the middle boy said, no. Well, in that case, you'd better be careful, because your axe might break. The boy, are you ready to eat a cake? No. And drink the beer. And he took his axe, do it with me, and he raised it high in the air and he chopped. But it didn't make a mark in the bark. You ready? And he chopped. And it didn't cut into the tree. This time you've got to clap your hands when it gets down to the bottom. And he raised it high in the air. And he chopped. And the head of the axe, as sharp as a pair of scissors, went up in the air. Ready? Ooh, and down it came. Eee! And it cut him on his arm and he yelled. Do you know, I'm so pleased I've driven so far to get here to hear you, Lord, go, and he yelled, oh, I've cut my arm. The mother looked and said, you can put your own bandage on. I'm looking after the oldest boy, and he is the best boy. Now the youngest boy went up to his mother and said, Mother, I'd like to chop down a tree. Teeth together. You, I don't like you. And she gave him an old rusty axe, and she gave him a bottle of milk that was hard and lumpy and mouldy. And she gave him a cake that was burnt on the outside and raw in the middle. And he started to walk along the road. Do it with me. And when he met the little man said, are you ready? Hello. What did he say? Hello. Have you got something to eat and drink? And the youngest boy said, yes and no. Yes and no. Either you do or you don't. He said, well, I've got a lumpy bottle of milk. I've got a burnt cake. Would you give me some? The boy said, yes, if you want some. Get a hold of the cake with me, ready? And he gave the cake to the little man, and it got bigger, show me, and bigger and bigger, and turned into the most beautiful cake you ever did see. Are you ready to eat half of the cake in one mouthful? Yeah. And he gave the rest to the boy, and it was the best cake the boy had ever eaten. Get a hold of the bottle. And when the little man touched the bottle of lumpy milk, it turned into the cleanest, clearest water, and the little man drank half of it and didn't spill a drop. Are you ready? And he gave it to the boy. Oh, it was so sweet. Now the little man said, you helped me, I'm going to help you. Chop down that tree there. Can you all point? That tree there. The boy took his old rusty axe, get a hold of it, ready? He raised it high in the air. This time you've got to clap your hands when you get to the bottom. And he chopped, 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 and he chopped. And the tree came down with a great big crash. And at the bottom of the tree, the boy could see two eyes. Can you make two eyes like this? But the eyes were made out of gold. Can you make gold with me? It's a G and it shines, do it. The eyes were made out of gold. You're very good at this. Well done, you. And the eyes were in a head that was made out of gold. And the beak was made out of gold. And the neck was made out of gold, because at the bottom of the tree there was a golden goose. The boy looked, a golden goose with golden eyes and golden feathers. Can you pick the goose up for me, please, like this? And he picked up the goose. Make sure you've got the goose's neck here. You ready? Everybody knows what a duck says. What does a goose say? Honk, 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 honk. Do that with me. Honk, 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 honk. And he picked it up. He said to himself, I'm going to take this goose back home to my mother. But when he tried to take it, the goose made him go a different way. And he walked along the road, make the road with me, and he walked along the road, and people would look and people would laugh, and they would say, hey, 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 where did you get that golden goose? But the boy said nothing. Can you do that with me? The boy said nothing. And he started to walk along, and when the moon was in the sky, draw the moon in the sky, when the moon was in the sky like a great silvered coin, he came to where there was a house. Make that house with me. And outside of the house there was a man who was rubbing at his belly. He looked and he said, you boy, you look tired. You should let me look after the goose, and you can sleep upstairs. The boy was tired. He went up the stairs. Make him go up the stairs. He went up the stairs, but that man reached towards the golden goose. Can you reach towards it? Reached towards the golden goose, tried to grab a feather, and when he grabbed it, his fingers were stuck to it. What's the matter with this? Put two hands on top. Can you do that with me? And he pulled on. His two hands were stuck on top of the goose. He shouted for his wife. Shout for the wife. Wife! The wife went, oh, what's the matter with you? You're always screaming and shouting. She wrapped her arms around his belly. Can you do it with me? Everybody should do this. You ready? And she pulled on. She was stuck to him. They shouted for the daughter. You ready? Shout for the daughter. Daughter! Oh, Mummy and Daddy, what are you doing? You're always shouting, screaming and yelling. Come here. And she put a hand on her mother's shoulder. Can you do that with me? Ready? And she pulled on. She was stuck to her. The boy woke up, picked up the goose. He picked up the goose. And the father, and the mother, and the daughter. And when he jumped, they jumped. When he danced, they danced. But the boy said nothing. Well done. And he walked outside. Outside of the church, there was the priest standing there. He said, you boy, you're making everybody laugh. Come here. And he grabbed hold of the girl's hand. Can you do it with me? And he pulled, and he was stuck to her. You ready? There was the goose, the father, the mother, the daughter, the priest, a shopkeeper, and the boy all got stuck. And when the boy jumped, do it with me, when the boy jumped, the father, the mother, the daughter, the shopkeeper, the priest, the boy, and the girl all jumped. And when he danced, they all danced. And he came to where there was a castle. Can you draw a castle in the air? And outside of the castle, there was a soldier with a sword in his hand. And he looked and he said, hey, 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 you boy, You're making me laugh. If you could make the princess laugh, the king would let you marry her. Oh, the boy thought, marry a princess? I like the sound of that. And he walked underneath the window. Can you make a window with me? Where the princess was. And the boy walked past with the father. Do it with me. The father, the mother, the daughter, the priest, the shopkeeper, the boy and the girl. And the princess looked out of the window and she went. Not even the slightest smile. But the boy, do it, started to jump. And when he jumped, the father jumped, the mother jumped, the daughter jumped, the priest, the shopkeeper, the boy and the girl all jumped. And the princess went. Then the boy started to dance. Can you do it with me? He started to dance. And when he danced, the father, mother, daughter, priest, shopkeeper, boy, girl, all danced, and the princess went. Can you do that with me? The king said, who has made my daughter laugh? And when the woodcutter's son was brought in front of him, the king said, you have made my daughter laugh, and you shall marry her. Everyone was so happy, because I tell you something, he became the king when the old king died. And for a woodcutter's son who was told, teeth together, I don't like you, for someone like that to become the king was the very best thing in the world. Give yourselves a round of applause. Well done. Could you... Hello, different kinds of stories, and I'm going to tell you a story that I wrote, and this story is called I Do Not Want to Dance. Can you say that with me? I do not want to dance. Because there was a town filled with houses. Can you all use your fingers the same as me? And in amongst all of the houses there was a square. Could you draw a square in the air? And on the square everyone would dance over here. Can you all lean over? They danced over there. They danced up. And they danced down. And they danced all around. But in the family there was a baby. Can you make a baby in your arms like this? Oh, you're very good at this. And when the baby saw the people dancing, when the baby heard the music, the baby would go, wah! Can you do that with me? The baby would go, wah! And she would go, tap your knees. I don't want to dance. I don't like to dance. You can't make me dance. I don't want to dance. Can we have those hands in the air like this? I don't want to dance. And they would point and they would say, Lily, Lily, Lily. Can you do that with me? Lily, Lily, Lily. You like to dance when you get older. But when she was big and could walk by herself, just like you, she saw the people dance over here. Can you do it with me? They danced over there. Ready? They danced up and they danced down, and Lily would go. Ooh-ah! Tap your knees. I don't want to dance. I don't like to dance. You can't make me dance. I don't want to dance. So the father or the mother or the sister or the brother had to stay in the house when everyone else went dancing. But the music would come in through the window and they couldn't stop themselves. They danced over here. Do it with me. They danced over there. Are you ready? They danced up and they danced down. Are you ready? You really like this. And Lily would go, wah! Tap your knees. I don't want to dance. I don't like to dance. You can't make me dance. I don't want to dance. But Lily got bigger and taller and stronger, and soon she went to school. And she had lots of friends. Can you shake hands like this? She had lots of friends who all liked to dance over here. Can you do that with me? They danced over there. You ready? They danced up and they danced down, and Lily would stand still. See how still you can go? Put your teeth together.
And she would go, I don't want to dance. I don't like to dance. You can't make me dance. I don't want to dance. And everyone would have to stop dancing. But one day she came into the school and everyone was sitting down as well as you are, and it was going to be a dancing competition to find out who was the best at dancing. And it was going to be judged by Alfonso, the waltzing woodcutter from Skidby. You might have met him. And he came in and he clapped his hands twice. Are you ready? Haven't done it yet. Once and twice. Go on, do that with me. Once and twice, he said. Let the dancing begin. Because that's how they talk there. And a boy got up, show me one thumb like this. And he stamped around the room. Can you do it with me? And he jumped in the air. Can you do it with me? And poor old Alfonso, the waltzing woodcutter from Skidby, scratched at his chin. Can you all do that with me, please, grown-ups as well? He scratched at his chin and he rubbed at his head. And he looked and he said, the boy danced well. Show me your other thumb. A girl got up and danced. Can you dance with me? And she moved in and out of the crowd. And poor old Alfonso, he scratched at his head. And he rubbed at his head again. And he scratched at his chin. And he looked and he said, the boy danced well. And the girl danced well. Show me two handfuls of fingers. 10 boys and girls moved and danced. Show me how they moved and danced. And they danced all around. And he said, I'm going to have to tell somebody they're not the best at dancing. Lily sat at the side, put your teeth together and was going, I don't want to dance. I don't like to dance. You can't make me dance. I don't want to dance. He said, I'm very sorry. What did he say? I'm very sorry. It's much posher around here than I remember. And I'm very sorry, but you haven't got up and danced. Everybody gasped. I said, everybody gasped. Thank you very much. And Lily stood up and she went, I don't want to dance. I don't like to dance. You can't make me dance. I don't want to dance. He said, I'm sorry, but I can't hear you. Everybody stand up. Can you do it with me? And she went, I don't want to dance. I don't like to dance. You can't make me dance. I don't want to dance. And he laughed and he laughed. Can you sit down again for me, please? He laughed and he laughed and he went, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. This girl is the best at dancing. Everybody gasped. So much louder than that. And she had to come and stand at the front, and she was given a beautiful, round, shining, golden cup. And she had a photograph taken. Give me your best smiles. Ready? I said, give me your best smiles. Thank you very much. Ready? She had a photograph taken for the Ghoul Gazette. And there it said, Lily is the best at dancing. But when she looked inside of the cup, there was money. Can you count with me in a big way? Ready? There wasn't £10. There wasn't £20. There wasn't £30. There wasn't £40. There was £50. Everybody rub their hands together. Rub your hands like this. They went, Lily, Lily, Lily. Can you do that with me? Lily, Lily, Lily. You're very good at that. Lily, you've got £50. What are you going to buy with the £50? Show me a big smile. She smiled and she said, I'm going to buy with the £50. I'm going to buy with the £50. I'm going to buy with the £50. I'm going to buy a pair of dancing shoes. And from that time, whenever you saw Lily, everybody stand up. Don't just look at me. Stand up for me, please. She would go, excuse me. I said, everybody stand, thank you very much. I do want to dance. I do like to dance. You can't make me dance. I do want to dance. Do it again. I do want to dance. I do like to dance. You can't make me dance. I do want to dance. Give yourselves a big round of applause and sit down for me. Well done. Did you like that? You were very good, I must tell you.